Thank you, Mark. We head off on the warm-up lap, double file, rolling start. It's a new innovation, a new addition to the program here at Albert Park. So far, the driver with maximum points as we take a look at some of the onboards that will bring you over this one. Bottom left of screen, Scott McLaughlin. Top left of your screen is Jamie Whincup. And look to the top right, the Pepsi Max Ford Performance Racing entry of Mark Winterbottom. So they've gathered some points for the weekend so far, not championship points. We want to determine tomorrow afternoon who the overall winner is. 75 points maximum from each of the two races so far, and hey, he can't get any more points. Shane van Gisbergen, the Kiwi's done a great job, so he finds himself for Techno Autosports on pole position for this one alongside Craig Lowndes. Yeah, he's done an awesome job so far. Won the first race from second on the grid, beat Michael Caruso, who is starting on row 2 in Group 4. Scott McLaughlin, he's been exciting to watch. He starts Group 5 next to Garth Tander. Jamie Whincup, a little bit further back, had that penalty yesterday that dropped him 5 grid spots after that altercation down the front straight with Scott McLaughlin. I don't reckon that's going to end there. There's going to be more between those two this year. James Courtney, you know the Holden Racing team well. Anything up the sleeve? Can we see him move up the order? He struggled a bit yesterday. Yeah, they have been. You know, there's lots of things they're trying. They're on the soft tyre this weekend. This track, very long, a lot of loaded, very high loaded corners. And there's teams having, you know, trying a few different things, trying to get the best out of these cars. Tyre longevity, the degradation here, it's definitely there. So, you know, everyone's trying a few bits and pieces. Qualifying, so critically important as we go on board now with James. You know, it'd be a little bit of frustration. They would love to be up the front. It's non-points for the championship, but it's still pride. Pride is on the line, and Garth Tander's going a little bit better. They'll be working really hard. 4 cars in the Walkinshaw stable, and so there's a lot of information to get, collate, and go through. It was an awesome battle yesterday between Jamie Whincup and Garth Tander. Real attacking stuff from Whincup and brilliant defence from Tander, and he was clinging to it, wasn't he? We watched some great footage out of Jamie's car looking at Tander, you know, and he was calculating how many laps he had left, how much he had to hang on. He had to, talking to him yesterday, he said he had to change what he was doing slightly. He knew the car wasn't getting to the centre of the corner.
5 kilometres now at 40 and under them.
Yeah, well, that's Tim Shankin talking to the safety car, getting everybody set up for this rolling start. Garth Tander said he had to modify his driving technique just a little bit to make sure that he held Jamie Whincup behind him, and he did that really well for the last couple of laps. But, you know, they're all, as I say, making the changes, trying to learn the cars as much as they can at this event, but still, they want to win. So the safety car will peel off into the pit lane. They'll line up in 2 long rows, side by side. The pole sitter will be Van Gisbergen. By the time they would ordinarily get to about the 4th row of the grid, if we were having a stationary start, that's where they enter what's called the acceleration zones. The AEC boards there, and then we'll be in the starter's hand. Up to Damien White from there, and then the pole sitter will control the speed from that point, won't it? 50 to 60 k's an hour. The radar gun is up on the starter's stand. Here we go. Gisbergen straight again to the inside, just like he did yesterday when he was on pole. Lowndes staying right on the right-hand side. And the guys behind these 2 guys at the front have to follow where they are going. So we've got significant gap between the 2. Van Gisbergen's in control. There's the AZ board on the right-hand side. We'll see it. He'll enter there, and then it's up to him to choose when he goes, which is now. He gets a good jump. Tander gets a good jump. Lowndes not so good. Coulthard looking like he might get a run down the inside here into turn 1. Awesome to have some V8 thunder back at Albert Park. They're V6s in Formula 1 these days. Bit of contact back in the pack. Courtney tied up in there, so too one of the Jack Daniels Nissans. Clean through 1 and 2. Jason Bright on the outside of Tander and the run down the outside into 4. McLaughlin looking for a way. He's managed to find a spot, get into 4th spot after the start. Bright looking aggressive, looking racy. He's putting pressure on Garth Tander, who runs wide. Advantage Jason Bright in the Team BOC entry, and Caruso in the Beyond Blue Nissan gets through as well. And he could lose another one here, Tander. He's run wide, under a lot of pressure. Here we go, on board with Scott McLaughlin in the Volvo. The S60 has been just a stellar performer so far. This year we've got a big stunt. Jack Daniels' car's got damaged. There's been a sizable shunt as McLaughlin locks the left front, sorry, goes off the road. Oh,
at the damage. Poor Dale Wood in the Wilson security entry. He was here running the circuit with Mark Webber on Tuesday.
Safety car's been called. Tim Shenkton has called the safety car, so the boards are out. Action on the first lap of the third race. There's damage to the back of Garth Tander's car. Smoke coming from that.
One of the Nissan Altimas has some damage too. One of the, I'm not sure if it's Rick Kelly. Need to check the number.
No, it's Todd Kelly.
It's Todd.
Todd Kelly got damage in there. Is Chaz Mostert. He's got a lot of damage to the right-hand side. That's bad. That's definitely bad, Rusty.
Not what they wanted from the Albert Park weekend. It's certainly not these guys.
I'd say that is how Chaz Mostert's FPR Falcon has received all the damage to the right-hand side. It's done through Dale Wood's car, who's clearly come around a corner and was unable to avoid. Here we go, replay. Here. So it was Winterbottom down the inside of Tander. We could see there. And there it is. Where's Wood? Wood is there. He's unsighted.
Crunch.
Oh, from way at the back too.
Another angle here.
Here we go. Sorry, it's, yeah, Tander and Mostert coming together.
Whincup doing well to avoid all that. Look at the others taking evasive action as well. Jack
to the driver's fault too, Rusty, obviously, of Mostert's car. Clearly a reasonable hit, not the biggest one. He was see a replay at the start. Van Gisbergen cleanly away again, as he's done in the first two races so far this weekend. Everyone else spread right across the track.
Look at Mostert out on the grass, almost looking for...
Yeah, he got a great start, didn't he? Got past Whincup into one.
And held it there.
Oh, the Nissan Altimas, the two Jack Daniels cars, nose to tail. They have been grouped together all weekend, those cars. And there's been a bit of touch-up between the yellow ones and the black ones. Bit of chat going on in the garage about right away and who should be given a clean track. But Chaz Mostert in the pit lane now. That car obviously not going anywhere. Substantial damage there to the right-hand side. In the clean-up.
We'll take a commercial break here while the officials go to work. They do a great job around the Albert Park circuit, the volunteers. And we'll come back with more. Hopefully get some news on Dale Wood for you on the other side of this. You're watching V8 Supercar Racing as part of the Australian Grand Prix. We're back live at Albert Park. You can see Dale Wood's car has been moved to the side of the track. There will be a permanent yellow at that point for the remainder of this race. We'll hopefully, before we get a restart, squeeze in here a couple of other angles we found. Ford Performance Racing going to work. Murph, look at this.
This is Mark Winterbottom's looking, steering straight at his teammate. How he missed him. David Reynolds was going past on the right-hand side. Jamie Whincup in car. Watch this. This is some driving. How did he not get involved in that accident? I have no idea. That was absolutely brilliant. Here we go again at full speed with Mark Winterbottom. Oh, David Reynolds. So close. So very good job by all those guys. Unfortunately, Dale Wood was unable to avoid the incident, and his car is parked, as you said, on the outside of the circuit there, and there will be a yellow flag for the remainder of the race. I think Jason Bargwanna could be a little bit busy this afternoon after he goes through the replays and tries to find out what actually happened there. Garth Tander involved. He's got a little bit of damage to the back of his car, but him and Mostert, Garth got wide a few corners earlier, got a couple of lost a couple of spots, and Mostert also got a run on him. So it's going to be interesting to see the outcome of that one, but not a great result there for Mostert and Wood.
And Garth and Bargs won Bathurst together back in 2000. Jason Bargwanna is these days the driving standards observer. Just interesting to catch those flag shots there before. James Allen talking about the threat of weather for the 5 p.m. local time start to Formula One qualifying. We'll stay with this for now. We have Adrian Burgess from the Holden Racing Team standing by. We'll come to you very shortly, but the lights are out on the safety car. Let's focus on this restart first.
So here we go. 2x2 again for the restart. Shane Van Gisbergen, 2 laps ago, did exactly the same thing. As you see one of the Erebus AMGs go to pit lane, that's, I can't tell, I think that's Will Davison has shot into pit lane. Not sure if he's got damage, obviously some sort of problem. Gisbergen straight away, look at the train. Look at the train. Move right over to the left-hand side. The same as what we had for the start of the race, the acceleration zone. You can see the boards. And he will be given a green flag by Damien White, which signifies the control of the start. Goes to Shane. There he goes. Puts the foot down. We've got a few less cars than what we had a few laps ago.
Great response from Tander as well on the throttle. Look down the inside. Courtney having a look in the 22 machine. Lowndes through, holds second from Coulthard. Jason Bright, after that massive rollover in Adelaide, that brand new car is sitting in 4th place for Team BOC.
Scott McLaughlin down the outside of Caruso under brakes. It's a great opportunity to try and make up a spot. Bright comes across on Tander. McLaughlin goes right around the outside in the Volvo, gains a couple of spots. As they stream through 4, 5, the fast right-hander 6. Van Gisbergen back at the front, controlling. Fabian Coulthard. A lot of pressure on Craig Lowndes.
Will Davison in the number 9 E63 AMG has returned to the circuit from pit lane. So Van Gisbergen controlling. It's a drama for Lowndes. He's lost a spot there, run wide. It looks like Coulthard's run off as well as we take a look at this sequence of onboards.
Yeah, McLaughlin's been a big winner again. He's got past Bright, who also seemed to have a problem down in the braking into 10. Maybe there's something down on the road down there, not quite sure. But a couple of cars locking their brakes. Maybe just the tyre temperature hasn't come back up. But McLaughlin now through the fast 11-12 complex. Caruso, very defensive.
Game on here. Tander muscles his way past Jason Bright. In those final sequence of corners, Lowndes is trying to defend from the Volvo.
Has Tander done a bit of damage? Not quite sure there. All of a sudden, he seemed to balk a little bit. Once he had the run there on Bright, maybe he's given that spot back after having contact.
So the lead is Van Gisbergen from Coulthard. Fabian sticking with it there. He kept that foot buried through the turn 9-10 complex, but some of them ran wide.
I think it'll be okay. Okay, buddy. Get in your rhythm, mate. Good job, mate.
On board with Mark Winterbottom as he closes up under brakes behind Jamie Whincup. The FPR guys have not had a good weekend so far, been struggling there to get themselves deep inside the 10. And obviously we saw Chaz Molston, his race is run. Here's Winterbottom trying to make up some ground.
It's busy here. We'll get a quick update. Adrian Burgess on the line from the Holden Racing team. How's the heart rate, mate, with some of the action we've seen so far?
Oh, it's up there as high as these guys out here on the circuit, I think. Yeah, not enjoying watching this. I think there's a few little battles going on which probably need to be sorted out after the race, not during.
Did Garth come back? Any reports on that? Obviously, he's got a little bit of loose bodywork, or bodywork a little bit damaged there in the back. Any other report from him on damage? He still looks pretty racy to me, mate.
No, we've been touched up a little bit, but the car's fine, I think. You just got to keep a cool head. I think everyone's fighting for sheep stations here, and I don't really need to, but yeah, you know what you boys are like. You put yourself in a race car, we can't tell you anything.
I was never like that, Adrian.
I'll be watching this year, mate.
Final one for you before we let you go. How's James Courtney? Great result for you guys in Adelaide, but it's been a bit of a frustration for Courtney in the 22 so far this weekend.
Yeah, we didn't qualify too well, but we knew coming here this was going to be a tough one. The car doesn't suit this circuit, or the issues we got with it doesn't suit this track. But look, we're working hard. We've got a lot of good things in the pipeline. We're going to stay positive and focused and do our job, and the day in the sun will come again soon.
Best of luck to you and the boys. We'll leave it there. Fantastic to chat with Adrian Burgess, and we saw while we were chatting with him the drama for Jason Bright. What a shame after being in 4th position in that BOC Commodore.
That is a great shot. Coming onto the front straight right here.
Being told from race control that this will run the full distance despite the crash involving Dale Wood and the subsequent period under the safety car. So we'll go the schedule 12.
So we're in car with James Courtney, who just got past, as we were talking about it with Adrian Burgess, the team manager, just got passed by Lee Holdsworth. Great camera shot out the front of the HRT Commodore, sorry. He is still struggling. He just hasn't been able to get on top of things, as we see Van Gisbergen and Coulthard showing a clean pair of heels here. Lowndes just made that little mistake. There's Jason Bright
what
in the pit lane. don't know if he had a problem.
Telling him to kill it, to shut the engine down. Coulthard sticking with it, chasing down Shane van Gisbergen, your race leader.
David Reynolds having a good showing here. He's got the damaged Nissan Altima of Todd Kelly right behind him, but this is a bit of an improvement for David. Struggling this weekend. He's just inside the top 10 in 9th position right now. Managed to get through all the carnage. 3 of the Altimas running nose to tail. Tim Slade in the Super Cheap Auto car just behind.
Fastest lap so far, a 1 minute 58.46 from Coulthard.
Shane van Gisbergen's done just an absolutely superb job so far this weekend, dominating the results. Qualified on the outside of the front row, but has not failed to lead a lap since the start of the first race yesterday. Good
Performance by Steve Hallam and John O'Webb and all the crew there from the Techno squad. He's had a really... He's constantly in the race lead, as we were saying yesterday, whether it's drifting or the Daytona 24-hour where he raced a Porsche. Let's have a look here.
This will be Lowndes using a lot of road and the grass, and McLaughlin follows him. Everyone's pushing really hard. So a great shot there of Craig Lowndes in the car control. So Courtney's got a bit of a problem. That's Dahlgren in the Volvo, sliding down the inside.
His results so far this weekend on track, not indicative of what was a very good qualifying performance by Robert Dahlgren. Just outside the top 10, Murph, in what is only his second round, if you like, or second race meeting in a V8 supercar. First time he set eyes on one was at the pre-season test at Sydney Motorsport Park just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a super tough job to jump into one of these cars. You know, very different to what he's been used to. The horsepower, the weight, the braking, all the little idiosyncrasies about a V8 supercar that, you know, the guys with experience, you know, get that edge. So he's been up against it, but doing a great job. And, you know, we expect that we will see him move forward. Obviously, the teammate he's got, Scott McLaughlin, showing his Garth Tander loose coming into braking there into 12. You know, he's got a great teammate to be able to learn from. You know, Scott's not that experienced either, but he's showing experience of like he's been in the sport or in this class for 10, 15 years. So, you know, a great combination of drivers at GRM.
Just 1 second covered the entire field in qualifying. They have 16 Dunlop tyres for the weekend, and they're the softer variety, so we're getting a bit more movement and looking for the guys who can manage and nurse those tyres towards the end of the race. We'll grab a commercial break here, come back, take you through to the finish of the V8 Supercars at Albert Park. Nice to have you with us. We're focused right now on V8 supercar racing at the same time, counting down to Formula 1 qualifying in the twilight, coming up at 5 p.m. local. You're watching the MSS V8 Supercars Challenge, race 3 of 4 for the weekend. Michael Caruso did a fantastic job, 6th at the moment, a breakthrough pole position for Nissan. Unfortunately, hasn't translated to a race win just yet. We've got Scott Sinclair on the line down in pit lane. An interesting weekend for you, Scott, in many respects. A little bit of battle scars going on, but that was a huge positive in the Beyond Blue Ultima for Michael Caruso in quali, wasn't it?
Yeah, hey Rusty, yeah, it was good. Look, obviously good to have the pace in qualifying and be up there. All four of us, all four of the Nissan Ultimas were up there in quali, so that was really positive. We haven't raced as well as we qualified, so we've fallen back a little bit now, just looking where the worst of us is 12th. So we're still in the top half of the field, all 4 cars, so a good start to the year, I suppose.
Hey, Scott, it's Murph here, mate. You've got one car that's nice and clear of the other ones, but the other 3 just won't leave each other alone. They're all so close together. Obviously, Todd's got a bit of damage from that incident earlier on, but, mate, I know you've been biting your fingers and having to deal with a bit of inter-team rivalry there. How's that panning out for you?
That's been interesting, a bit new to me as well, but, I mean, the result is that we've got 4 good guys who are all capable of winning races, so they're all racing next to each other and pretty evenly matched. I took on board your advice yesterday, mate, which was I'm never going to fix it, so hopefully, hopefully I can do a better job. But yeah, they're in amongst it, so that's all right.
Just send them to the IPO, mate.
Yeah, that'll be the easy option, I reckon.
Good on you, Scotty.
Keep batting, mate, because that's hugely positive and all good signs, not just for you guys, but for the category as well. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, boys. It's great to have all 4 Nissans up there.
Well done.
Thanks, lads.
And Craig Lowndes is pushing hard. We saw some shots before. He is very fast out there at the moment. Got the fastest lap of the race just a lap or so ago. But he is pushing his Red Bull Holden Commodore as fast as he can to try and close the gap to Fabian Coulthard. And it's pretty close. He's just 1.2 seconds behind Coulthard as it stands. And we know Lowndesy, dog with a bone.
It feels a bit more spread out than we've seen in the opening 2 races. We've had a few hard-stopping moments, though, along the way. I still cannot get over some of that onboard vision from Mark Winterbottom, from Jamie Whincup in that incident earlier with Mostert and Dale Wood. They did so well to avoid all that. If you were Tim Edwards, how would the grey hairs be in the wake of all that?
Now, I'm thinking we're probably not a good time to go talk to him, but yeah, superb driving by those guys. I mean, having to make absolute split-second decisions on where you put those cars. And obviously, you know there's other guys around you. And in the case of Mark Winterbottom, you know, we saw David Reynolds come past him on the outside. He must have missed him by millimetres. So, you know, it's certainly pretty heart-in-the-mouth kind of stuff as we go on board 3 of the cars. There, Jamie Whincup, Mark Winterbottom, and Scott McLaughlin down the bottom left-hand side of your screen. All doing the job. Let's watch them all at work. All working. The 660, 70 horsepower of each of these cars, looking after those rear tyres.
McLaughlin probably looks the busiest of all of them there. Whincup with those trademark supple movements, but his car's still moving around.
Lowndes closing the gap. It's down to under a second to Coulthard, and the gap for Coulthard to the leader Gisbergen has come down slightly also. So it's not over yet. We've got a lap and a half to run here at race 3 in the V8 Supercar Challenge. Moffat under pressure there from Tim Slade, looking to slide the Nissan around a little bit more. He's dropped off a fraction from his teammate Rick Kelly.
Just to follow
up Lowndes.
Just to follow up too, Murph, on Brad Jones Racing on Team BOC. We're hearing it may be a jam throttle for Jason Bright, who retired earlier. Let's look at this here.
Mark Winterbottom, he's making some progress. Say the best run he's had so far this weekend. And he's closing.
1 to go.
And on the back of Jamie Whincup, the pressure's on. Is that a few spots of rain? We've got out there potentially a few wipers on some of the cars just running through.
Hearing from some of our cameramen around the track, that is the case, Murph. Look at Slade in the background. He did a great job. Fastest in the first 30-minute practice session here on Thursday. And best ever Clipsal 500 result with a 6th on Sunday in that Super Cheap Auto Commodore. But at the moment, it is Van Gisbergen who's done a superb job all weekend, and they have double points on offer for the final race tomorrow. Look at the rain. Here again, the fans.
Grabbing the jackets, go for the umbrellas. Gisbergen, though, he'll be untroubled. He's a bit of a master. He loves these conditions. This will only make him want to try harder and break the 2 guys behind him. We can't say the 2 behind are rusty in this kind of situation, though, either. So half a lap to run for Gisbergen. Race 3. He's won the first 2. The clouds are moving in. We're going to have an interesting afternoon here at the Australian Grand Prix. Qualifying coming up for F1. The wiper on Fabian's car is running. We can clearly see there's a bit more water falling. Look at Lowndes pushing hard. He's not going to give up until the checkered flag. And we wouldn't expect him to either.
He rebels, doesn't he?
He does.
So Van Gisbergen, quite wisely, has maybe come off it just fractionally, given he's the man at the front. He's the first in these sprinkles of rain to arrive, so sideways.
Now, that's probably not the rain. That's probably just his right foot doing the work, I reckon. Gisbergen, he's showing everybody. This is number 3. 1 corner to go. You watch this slide, everybody. Onto the front straight.
Vergiz puts on another show.
Nice work, P2. Excellent.
At Albert Park, and he will win 3 from 3 so far. at the Australian Grand Prix meeting. One big V8 supercar race still to come your way tomorrow afternoon. Well done, Fabian Coulthard in the Lockwood Commodore, second, and Craig Lowndes pushing him the whole way. In fact, Lowndes in that final lap was some 0.3 of a second faster, so right on him. Steve Hallam and the boys from VIP, the congratulations. They're doing a terrific job. McLaughlin fourth in this one, Garth Tander fifth, but who knows what will happen in the stewards' room post this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we didn't see all the vision.
Absolutely.
We didn't see all the angles, but certainly it was Garth Tander and Chaz Mostert coming together. And as I said, it all started with Garth getting very wide at the exit of 5 and losing a couple of spots. Rick Kelly, James Moffat, the two Oldhamers, 11th and 12th. Tim Slade pushing Moffat all the way to the finish. Nick Percat in his first year full-time in V8 Supercars. And at the back there, obviously, Jason Bright with the DNF, Scott Pye, Chaz Mostert and Dale Wood with that really unfortunate incident early in the race.